Hi, I'm Fred Finley. I'm the owner of FineLine Weddings. Right now we're in our portrait studio, and behind me I got our entire DJ system set up because we want to show you what a standard DJ service setup looks like and what you can expect at your reception. So just to point a few things out, of course standard, we've got our lights, which we'll talk about. We've got our Bose premium speaker system, which we'll talk about. And of course back behind there we've got our mixers, computers, laptops, drives, everything like that, and we'll show you the behind the scenes on that in just a minute. But the first thing that I want to point out is what your guests are going to see on the dance floor. And this is our privacy facade. Now there's a couple reasons we have it set up, but the main reason is it kind of protects all of our equipment and basically hides all the unsightly cords and cables and wires that are back behind there for everything that's plugged in, so that it's not any kind of eyesore for you or your guests. Of course, you're going to be having nice pictures and video footage covering your reception, and we want to make sure that anytime there's a shot with a DJ table or station in the background, that everything looks nice for all your pictures and just overall environment for your reception. So we have this privacy facade here to hide all that. It also just protects our DJ equipment a little bit from when, if you're going to allow your guests to come up and make requests and things like that, so nobody's tripping over anything. And finally, with the facade, I do want to point out that you'll notice we'll shut off the lights here in a little while so you can see some of the lights light up. But hopefully on the video you can see on the floor down there, we have some color shining through the facade. We have some LED lights on the floor that are basically set to a very slow color fade. So throughout the evening, we just kind of had these colors that are melting away into one another behind the facade to just add to a nice, fun, classy look to the overall DJ setup. The next thing I want to kind of show off a little bit is your premium Bose sound system. So right here you see this long black cylindrical tower that doesn't look like your normal speaker that has a box with a big round speaker inside of it. We let all of our clients know that we do use the premium Bose sound system. It sounds amazing. The quality of the sound, the volume of the sound is phenomenal. But the reason that we use it is because we specialize in weddings. We want to fill your entire room with sound. We want to fill the entire room with the music, the introductions, the toasts, blessing. We want everybody to hear what's going on, whether they're in the front of the room or the back. Now what makes this different from a regular speaker system is, again, I said a regular speaker box, you're used to looking at one box with a big round speaker in it. Inside this column is actually 24, from up there down to here, 24 individual little speakers that are all slightly aimed at different angles. And what that is called is spatial dispersion technology. So the sound that emanates from the Bose speaker goes 360 degrees and it fills the room. And the nice thing about that is that your guests that might be sitting closer to the table aren't going to get blasted out. A DJ with a typical speaker system, in order to get sound to travel to the back of the room, they've got to crank the volume. So if guests in the back of the room need to hear the music or hear things, the volume has to get turned up because we're only pushing sound out from one speaker. With our system, it fills the room the same. So the guests that are in the back of the room are going to hear the same volume level as the guests that are in the front of the room close to the DJ speaker, so we don't have to blast it and crank it just to get the volume to carry to the end of the room. So it's a great thing. The fact that we specialize in weddings, this is the system that we want and this is the system that you want. All right, the next thing that we're going to take a look at is our lighting system. This is our standard dance floor lighting that is included with all standard DJ service. And we're going to kind of go through the individual lights, and I'll show you in a minute here at the end of the video. We'll turn off the lights in here, and we'll power these up so you can see what they look like. But we have a couple different things. Across the top, we have what we call our color rail light bar. That's very nice. We use that mostly throughout the evening for the open dance floor and events. So that one's always running. But we control it in a way that during your important events, first dance, parent dances, we don't want to be using dance floor lighting onto the dance floor that's going to affect the quality of your images or your video. We don't want to have splotches of just weird lights all over you for these important moments that are going to be important for your pictures that you might want to frame or put in albums. So what we do to actually help our photographers and videographers out, or other photographers and videographers out, is we use that light and just crank it to a white spotlight, and we just put a little bit of a white fill onto the dance floor to kind of for a little bit of a spotlight moment during these important events. But of course, no photographer or videographer is ever going to complain about light, because at the end of the day, the more light that they have, the better off that the quality of the image is. So that's how we approach that. But then when the dance floor opens up and guests are having fun dancing, then of course we can run that to sound activated, different programs, a lot of different lights going on. So we have a lot of versatility with that light. These lights down here, the DJs have control behind the booth with a flick of a button. They can kill it, turn it on and off. these are our dance floor lights. So when the guests come out, your crowd comes out to have fun and dance, these are the lights that are going to fill up the room, give you that club party atmosphere so everybody has a good time and feels like that they're on a fun dance floor with a lot of fun lights. So we'll show you what those look like momentarily. So now we've jumped to the other side of the table here, and the main thing that we want to focus on is the fact that we set up and run a backup system the entire night. Not that we need it, not that we're going to need it, but wouldn't you want your DJ to have a backup system ready to go if something were to happen? Of course. So we have that. So let's take a moment here and let's just pretend that our lovely bride and her father are out on the dance floor sharing their dance together. And I'm just going to pretend that something froze here. Oh no, something froze. How long is it going to take till we're back up and running? All your DJ has to do is slide to the backup system where we've got iTunes running with your playlist, your songs ready to go. So what, 3 seconds? Now, we don't want any problems, and we don't have problems, but if something should happen, we're ready to go and keep things moving along because the show's got to go on. All right, and finally, the last thing we want to do is we want to show you what our dance floor lighting system actually looks like. If you remember earlier, I said with the flick of a button, our DJs can turn on and activate the appropriate lights for when your guests come out to the dance floor. So let's go ahead, kill the lights, and let's show you what it looks like. Let's go ahead and get jiggy with it.